Clint said, maybe if you want to pull the trigger, pull the trigger. And he pulled the trigger, but it jammed the gun. Prison's actually a good thing, especially if you're a drug addict. Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom. You have nothing, hardly no one wants you.
And I'd like to maybe just kick off where we ended off, regarding just for you tonight, and as you say, you don't know where you're gonna sleep. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's
difficult.
It's difficult, eh? It's
stressing me out, man, because when you've got to worry.
Yeah.
You've got to worry about now, and now you have to focus on. I have to focus on Clint also, what his needs are now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to focus on where are we going to be tonight? I mean, that's the most important. We need to close our eyes, and then maybe he thinks I'm not helping him enough, and then so it's very difficult for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, I'm thinking, okay, to solve this whole problem, maybe I must just go do what I must go do, quick, so we can get the money, so we can end all this. But I mean,
What does that mean when you say you got to do what you got to do?
Like, what am I used to do prostitution before, and I stopped it through Clint. When I met Clint, he changed my life.
Right. How did you guys meet?
Through friends, through these people. And he was always, I knew Clint is a legend, everyone was always talking about Clint. But I was with my ex-boyfriend, Walid. So when we broke up, me and Walid, I started to go to Janetim a lot. And he used to come there a lot as well, so that's where we started to get close and whatever. Right. So one day, when we were still my boyfriend, he still made a joke. He said, "Hey, we're for Clint Dopo, young." But it was nothing like that. Clint was just giving me a few things that he got out of a place wherever he was. He was giving me a few things. And then I asked him, "Do you also want some coffee?" And Walid saw me and he said to me, "Hey, we're for Clint Dopo, young." He just made a joke. So a month ago when Walid came down, he said to me, "Ja, ek het mos gesê ek moet vir julle twee dophou." And then where you are.
But Clint and Walid are friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walid looks out for Clint a lot. In terms of who he is in the number and whatever.
Right.
And because Clint is a soft person, I always used to make him a target.
What do you mean?
In the fact that, in the sense of, he likes to give people.
Okay.
So when he's got a lot of money, they're all buzzing around him or whatever. But Walid said, "You got the best secretary ever. Diana has a big profile. She's right for you." Clint says, "Hey, but it's not that, man. If you want money, go. Everyone does it. I mean, it doesn't mean I always tell Clint, you could have had your own house. So, how many times over and over and over and over again? Just because you consider your friends."
The Robin Hood of sort.
Good God. Tomorrow you have 100,000 now. 2-3 days later you back to, no man, it doesn't work like that. If you're doing something that's so risky, so use your brain. You do something that you don't need to do that again. Right. Try a legal business or something. But Clint just lives, he gives everybody.
It sounds like that bothers you.
It bothers me because you can give, but it's how you give. Like I always tell him, you can do things, it's how you do things. These same people that comes to bother you is not there around for you when you need a slice of bread. They don't look your way, they don't think of you when they have money. It's not about the money, it's just about use it wisely, man. So that we can get out of the position that we are in. That's what bothers me. Right. Is the fact that and it's the same people that hurt him and rob him, and not rob him or steal from him and lie to him and whatever, that he will give. But okay, maybe that's just his method to his madness. But it pisses me off. Right. Because I don't like to bypass. If I don't like you, you'll know I don't like you.
How will I know?
Because I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you, listen, you're not my company. So what are you still doing here? And I think, you know, my company, you shouldn't be in his company because he's with me and I'm with him. Right. It's simple as that. But Clint likes to paint the picture nice. I hate it. I don't like to be false. I hate it because that is the most dangerous person you can get, is someone that can pretend. Right. That is a dangerous person. Very dangerous person.
Do you think that, I mean, in that circle, I'm sure trust is very little. I mean,
Yeah, it is, because we've all done some stuff. So it is very, but I mean, what hurts me the most is where we're living. This lady knows me for 17 years. She knows what type of person I am. She knows how I roll. She knows me. So I asked her yesterday, you know what hurts me the most? I said, you know me, man. Everybody, you know me better than anyone, a lot of people. So did any of this shit happen when we weren't here? Or when we were living here before, or when I was living here? No, but I find it so strange. Everything's. So I said, yes, now, if you find it so strange, what do you think of what's going through my mind? That's all I asked her. So I said, and to think that our friendship comes down to a 700 rand, is that what our friendship was based on all the time? And it did, because I was crying. I told him, because when I gave her, I kept her 50 rand back for us. I told her, here's something so long, whatever. She said me, she looked at it and she went, Tch. So I said to her, you know what? You're going, Tch. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know how it got here. You don't know who blessed us with it. You know shit. So until you ask me or you show some kind of interest in anything but yourself, then things will be a little bit better. I said, stop being like that, man. Because me, I've given you lots of money in the past. Lots of money.
Not even money towards rent. It was just money that you gave her.
Money, I just gave her. I mean, when I was doing what I was doing, my clients used to pay into her bank account. You know, 3 grand, 4 grand. There was people that was, loading her account. And not just one guy. There was a lot of guys that was my regulars that adored me and took me out just for nothing. They took me spoiler also. So I don't like to bring up things of my past, but it hurts me because you do think about it. A 700 rand, is that what you're on about? So, and a couple of 700s of rands that I gave you in the past, I mean, and the things that I do for you, I mean, you don't bring up things what you do for people, but it's not that you don't think about it. So she knows that prostitution was my past. So it's almost like she's pushing me that way. And I know I can do it quick. But I don't want to because Clint, I love Clint.
Born and bred in Cape Town?
Yeah.
Okay, where?
In Southfield.
Okay.
Yeah. I was born in Constantia with my mommy, but we moved from there to Southfield.
Just you and your mom?
No, me, mommy, and my daddy, and my sisters.
Right. Why did they move to Southfield?
Because when my mother, we were living with my grandparents first, my mommy and my daddy. It was a big house, big Constantia. So my daddy obviously got his own house. You know, my daddy worked very hard for us. Very, very hard working man. And my mother, she worked at Constantia Medical Clinic. First, she worked at Constantia the restaurant. And from there, she got a job at the hospital. And she was working there for a good couple of years. Then she got ill and she stayed at home. Started staying at home. She took care of us. We had a nanny, but she only came to do the washing, whatever. And it was just me and my 3 sisters. Me and my 2 sisters, yeah. The Sherry, Sandy, and Cindy.
Sherry, Sandy, and Cindy.
Yeah. But my older sister got murdered.
Oh.
In Cape Town, in Loop Street.
When was that?
It was the backpackers. It was burnt down a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But she died as a hero in that thing because she was afraid of heights. She couldn't jump out of the window when the fire blocked it off.
Okay.
So she helped all the mommies of the babies and everybody to escape, but she couldn't. She couldn't jump. She was afraid of heights.
Oh.
So they found her in a praying position, but only the bones. They could only identify her from that. But yeah, but I still got my baby sister, but she's in her own in her own buzz.
What is she doing?
She's hairdressing.
Okay.
She was also on a rough road, but I also spoke to her and took a lot of time for her to realize, hey, what I'm saying is the truth. It's not just me trying to be a party pooper. And she's trying to get her daughter back as well.
Okay.
She just needs a little bit of, it's not inspiration. Couldn't call one thing, just for me to be the motivator to do the right thing, because there's a lot of negativity. When you want to do the right thing, you'll always get negativity your way.
Right.
You'll never see the light because they'll always try and block it out. Nobody likes to see you go forward, as I said. Then, not nobody. If they're not in the straight road, they're not going to see. They're not going to really be happy for you, because they'll always want you there with them.
And is it difficult for you to get out of that circle?
I'm out of that circle.
Mm-hmm. No, but I'm talking about your sister now. Is she finding it difficult too?
Yeah.
Right.
But the hardest part for me and the saddest part is that I can't take her in by me because I don't have a place.
Right.
Which I would have loved to do, because she's my only blood left,
So your parents are not alive?
No, they both passed away. My mother passed away about 8 years ago, and my daddy passed away about 7 years ago.
Okay. You were telling your daddy you worked hard. What did you do?
He worked at, he owned a place, I don't know if you know Nainstown, but Coimbra, opposite Coimbra was a Makita.
There's a hardware, power tools, yes, yes.
My daddy owned that place.
Okay.
Marcus.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened to the business?
He was in partnership with someone.
Okay.
So obviously,
Right.
the guy moved. I think the business moved. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
But after passing away, he didn't leave anything behind for his kids, and
No, not because at the time me and my sister was on drugs.
okay.
He did warn us and whatever, but he left everything on our daughters.
Okay.
That's why I say my daughter is sorted out, but only when she's 18 now, but when she's 21.
Right.
So it's up to her to
Okay.
whatever. So I'm happy with that.
Okay. So you leave Constantia, moved to Southfield, and you went to school in Southfield, I'm assuming.
Southfield Primary.
Oh, okay. And then high school?
Plumsirai. It was very naughty. Very mischievous about Plumsirai.
What was happening there?
I used to bunk school. I used to go on my own. When it was my birthday, I went away for the day. They used to phone my dad and say, "Hi, this is Plumsirai. We just want to know where Sherry." My mother said, "It was her birthday today. I wonder if she never went shopping with her birthday money." And then I used to go from my shopping, I had to go back to school because my dad used to phone me and tell me, "Where are you, madam? I didn't give you money to bunk school. I gave you money to go shopping after school, but you back to front." So yeah, I was very mischievous. Start smoking, exploring,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went to Plumsirai up until 8, 9, and then I dropped out of school.
Dropped out standard 9. Was that again in terms of smoking, and where are those friends that you used to smoke and drink with now? Do you guys ever keep in contact, or you've just lost
No,
touch
they're all
with,
matriculated and whatever.
and they're living their lives?
And when I met Kaylee's father,
Right.
and then we were dating 3 years, and then we got married.
So you met him
While I was at school.
while you were at school?
Mm.
Okay.
So when I turned 18, I got married,
Right.
and then I had Kaylee, and then I was working at. Then we moved to Lotus River with Kaylee's where his mother stayed. He lived with his parents, my in-laws, and then I started working at Lotus River Primary
Okay.
as an aftercare teacher
Okay.
for 3 years or so, and then I stopped because unfortunate thing, the father my husband had an affair with my baby sister, so that was a bit of a heartbreaking thing. I went through, tried to commit suicide, drank tablets, didn't work, obviously. Thank God, because I had Kaylee. But at that time, you don't think, someone that your daddy always warned you about, like saying, "Hey, stick to your own culture, you this and that," and whatever. And I just felt, I should have listened to my daddy.
What did you mean by stick to your own culture?
You just better believe whites must be with whites and colors must be with colors, but And when you shouldn't have, I think he was of the old school, I don't know, racist, I don't know what it is. Couldn't have been racist because he always had colored friends. But I think he was more hurt that I was getting hurt. But anyway, they put it over, and then that's where I started to use drugs to ease the pain.
After that, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I had an addictive personality, so I stopped smoking cigarettes because that was just that was a waste of time. And once I started, I couldn't stop.
What drugs did you start with?
Crystal meth. It eased my pain. When I say that it's not an excuse, it really did help me work past it.
Right.
It deadens your emotion, which helped me a lot because emotion was definitely what I was going through.
Right.
Then it was my sister that passed away. My sister didn't pass away before. She was there with Kaylee's birth. She was there when I got married. She was there when I was working at the school still. And that's when...
So working at the school, you left the school having found out that your husband cheated on you, and then you
can't work with children when you're dealing with emotion because they pick it up.
Right.
You can't. There's no way now you can do that. So I rather left there. And they were also I had 40 children in my class, and they were mad. And they're naughty little buggers, yeah, they're naughty. They're a bunch of naughty children, but they loved me.
What is it? Primary school grade?
Lotus River Primary, yeah.
But what grade was it?
It was all because it's aftercare.
Oh, aftercare, right? Okay.
So they're catching on a lot of shit. Hey, I had a favorite little one in my class. Oh, he was my favorite. He was a little snotness.
Yeah.
And he was always naughty. And teacher, Imran is in the roof of the school. And oh my God.
Like, what's he climbing on roofs?
Climbing in, it was a piece that was broken in the toilet, and he climbed through there. And when you look for him, he was in the roof. Wow. But he was my favorite. He really was my favorite. But there was all of them. And children, I love working with children. I love children. Children love me because they're forever laughing at me. And yeah, but I had to leave the school.
Kids are special, I mean, I look at my relationship with my son. I mean, it's every day he's teaching me something, and I think what I enjoy about my relationship with him is that he's unfiltered. You get the raw stuff, and it actually, I found that he's a mirror for me. So I might say something today and I forget about it, and then maybe a week's time he'll remind me, but you said that, I was like, oh my goodness me, I did say that, And I think that's the beautiful thing I think about kids is that they haven't been what's the word? Not damaged, no, but their thoughts and their ideas are still pure, exactly, they haven't been, and now you're Kaylee's father, and do you guys get along, or is it just...
We first never got along because we were always not arguing. I was hurt by him, what he did, but we never ever got, but we are fine now. But I think coming back with Kaylee, it was a big problem because I because I was on my own, because of the drug. I didn't want Kaylee to be around, to travel with me everywhere, so I wasn't going to be selfish.
Right.
I told my mother-in-law, listen, Kaylee must stay with you guys. I will come visit her and I will provide whatever I can provide, but Kaylee needs to stay here with you guys. And she's a mother-in-law in a million because she never badmouthed me, not once. When I went to prison, a couple of times she used to bring Kaylee to visit me. She never, ever kept Kaylee away from me. And she would always tell Kaylee, that's your mother no matter what. No matter who says what. And Janino, my ex-husband, he had girlfriends and he's remarried today with a beautiful, good woman. And he's got another 2 children as well. Kaylee's got sisters. And yeah, he impressed me actually, he surprised me with Kaylee told me, you know what, Mommy, I went home and Daddy scolded me out because I sent him a message to say Kaylee was very rude to me, and due to whatever you said to her, it's stuck in her head, and she thinks she has the right to say the same thing to me. She says, Mommy, you know what? He said to me today, if you think you can be like your mother, there's not a chance. You're not half of you won't be able to be half of the person your mother is. And it touched me because I never ever thought that you thought that of me.
Yes.
So she told me, Mommy, he still loves you. He still cares about you and still thinks of you as a good person. Don't think. And it surprised me because I really thought he just didn't have any because of the drugs and everything, you know. And where I came from, people I hung out with, just was hectic.
What's the relationship between Kaylee and the father? Is it quite a strong relationship?
She's strict. She doesn't say anything skew. It's out of place with him. Which I know that he is only like that because he wants the best for Kaylee. And he's strict with Kaylee. Like, very strict with her because she's got more sisters. And he wants Kaylee to be an example.
Right.
And sometimes it boils, I think Kaylee takes it a bit too hard. She thinks he's just pushing her away. Or, you know, a report comes in, and for me it will be good. But for him, he could do better.
Right.
And it's whatever, Mommy, nothing's ever good enough for this. I said, no, Kaylee, it's not that. This is the reason. You got sisters and he wants you to, he knows you can do better. It's because you're pepping around you this, you that, and we all know. And I talk with her straight. And I tell her, listen, don't bullshit me because I know you, Kaylee. I come out of this. There's not a thing you can tell me that I don't know because me. I was just naughty. I know all the things.
Do you see yourself in her?
Yeah. She doesn't look like me, but my attitude, totally. And mischievous, naughty. Want to try it out for myself. Okay, you say this is gonna happen, but it's fine. Like she told me in December month. Hey man. It was fine, man, Mommy. It was worth hiding. But I had a lekker time. So I said, you're a witch. But that is something I would have said. When I have said in my past.
Right. You mentioned that so having being on tick, is that what made you go into prostitution or?
Yeah. Yes, I was first into shoplifting.
Okay.
Me and my older sister. But then, because she passed on, and then I was on my own. And then obviously the drugs, you need money, you need this, you can't go anywhere, you need a place to stay, can't stay with my family. So when Walid was in prison, Walid was a boyfriend that I'm now started to go out with. When he went to prison, then I'm out there on my own. When he's not in prison, I can live there with him by their family. Which was also played a very big role in my life, his family, because his mother became like my mother, Auntie Khairu. She passed on a month ago. She was a very good woman also to me. So when I went to prison, it was because of things I used to do. I used to do like robbery, hijacking, with the clients that I used to have. Yeah.
What do you mean hijacking?
I used to catch on nonsense, like with the clients. That is what took me to prison. As you have the clients, you rob them, you take cars, whatever. It was bad. That is why I say today I'm proud of myself. Because I couldn't go without money. There wasn't a day I couldn't go without money. Today I have 2-3 slices of bread. I'm grateful for it. And I'll share my 2-3 slices of bread with my boyfriend. And I'm happy, I'm proud of it. Because me, I used to go in the shop and think nothing of it. Still, yeah, I don't know how I did it. I'm freak poop bang now today to steal a small chocolate, I promise you. But back in the day, I could go in, no problem. 20 sweaters, I thought nothing of it. I'll steal it and I'll walk out. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
But going into the shop, were you on drugs at the time?
Yeah.
You only took tick?
I smoked it.
Why just tick? Just out of Right. That's crazy.
It was hectic, I promise you. Yeah. And it wasn't one shop a day, that was my job, was to shoplift. During the day it was shoplifting, at night it was prostitution. So I was making my money. I always had money. And yeah, today I don't know. And I told him, Papa, I don't know what to do because I care. Shoplifting is out of this question. But prostitution, when you're struggling, it's easy money, man. But is it worth it? And especially when you've stopped, your self-esteem, as a woman, you lose your, is it called self-esteem? Yeah. When you're busy doing that, prostitution, you lose a lot of things. I mean, you don't think very much, not think very much of yourself. But when you stop, you build all that up again, you know?
Right.
You, as a woman, you start feeling whole again.
Right.
Like, you're proud of yourself. So to be able to think of going back, it will do a lot of breaking down, hurt, damage.
You're basically going backwards to that life, that previous life that you're running away from. Right.
So it's hard.
In the building up of that self-esteem, how did you go about doing that?
When you stop prostituting, selling yourself, it goes to every step, every day is a new day. You feel whole because you don't need to sell yourself. So you become you are for yourself. Not you are shared with people, or I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, you become whole. You're broken when you busy selling yourself for whatever reasons it may be. You just, especially when you're on drugs, it's always a broken situation.
Right.
You're just completely always broken. But when you're walking away from that, slowly but surely, a small sacrifice, a small thing, like if you're a week clean, that's a big sacrifice. If you're 3 days clean, it's a sacrifice. And it's a step away, and it's a good step. That is why you never look down or on people. You must never ever, because you never know when you fall in that trap. And it's easy, because it happened to me so easily. And the junk part is that I have an addictive personality.
Right.
You can start smoking a cigarette, you can leave it. Other people can't. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Right.
Or you can say it's easy, but it's actually very difficult for us.
Are you still addicted to tick?
No. Me and my boyfriend, I'm 2.5 months clean. 2.5 months clean, but the temptation definitely is there because of the circumstances I'm in.
Right.
And with the history of tick, it deadens your... So it's difficult. Because in times like this, like I am in now, I think to myself, you know what, buy yourself a packet. But it's going to be worse. It's not going to be just one packet. It's going to be packet after packet after packet and after packet, because problems won't stop coming then. And you'll forever have to deal in this problem, but it's wrong because you need to deal with it.
Right. I mean, and what will Clint think?
That's the thing. Not worried about what Clint thinks. I'm doing what I do because for myself and my daughter and for my partner, but my daughter is the most important thing, and for myself. Clint loves me whichever way.
Right.
He doesn't judge me, but his opinion does matter a lot to me, but more my daughter's.
Right.
And because she knows that I made her proud, so I wouldn't want to break that. It's the only way I can make her proud.
Right.
She knows what I was, what I did do. She knows everything because I'm honest with her. So she knows the sacrifice and what I've done. So she's very proud of me.
Okay, so she doesn't use your past life against you. Oh, okay.
She'll always tell her friends, my mommy. See, you talk about making money, my mommy. You guys don't know shit. But I always tell her, you mustn't talk about that because it's not something cool. But it just shows me she does know. She knows.
It sounds like she's not necessarily proud of what you did, but she's saying that
Changed.
my mommy is changed, but also my mommy has sacrificed a lot. You know.
Because she always tells me, Mommy, you are such a strong woman.
Mm.
You have all these, and still, you come out smiling. You don't complain. You just do your thing. And all those people that hurt you and trying to hurt you, and how can you smile with them? So I said, because you know what, your problem is your problem. You never let the next person know what you're feeling. Because when you do that, that's when they play on your feelings.
Mm.
You see me, Mommy, I'll never be able to do that. I said, no, you will. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You will. You will. When you get to certain things and you go through certain things, eventually you must. Because if you don't, then you're a sucker for punishment. But people is like that.
Right. So are you saying that in terms of just being vulnerable, you learn to not be vulnerable,
Yes.
and you have coping mechanisms?
Yes.
Right. Right. You mentioned that you've been to prison a couple of times. When was the first time you went, and what for?
I went for shoplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got bail on that. But I was on the unsentence side. And then I was a couple of times here. But prison, everyone thinks of prison like, if you go to prison, it's a bad thing. Prison isn't a bad thing. Prison's actually a good thing in terms of, especially if you're a drug addict. You don't need rehab if you go to prison. Prison is a rehab. There's psychologists there, there's a lot of things there, but it's up to you. You really don't need to go to rehab. So prison does a lot of good things for us. I mean, yeah, but it's up to you.
I mean, and I'm assuming, did you access those services in prison in terms
Yeah.
of psychologists and stuff?
Yes.
But that's crazy, though, don't you think? I mean, what does that say about our society if you go to prison to find, I don't say find peace, but for it to be better in prison than outside? What do you think that says about?
Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
When you're outside, you still have. But by the time you reach prison, you've hit rock bottom. You have nothing, hardly no one wants you. A lot of things go wrong for you. So you need to break down rock bottom to be able to start again. To be able to find yourself again. You know, that's just the way it is.
And I'm sure you've got lots of time to think about your life.
I have a lot of time.
Right.
A lot of time.
And you were just saying to us earlier on, just tell me again that you've got, 30 minutes in a day?
Yeah, your day starts at by you need to wake up in the morning, like 3:45, to shower. Then by 5:45, the room must be cleaned. 5:45 is when you have your counting. Or go out of the cell for your counting, then you go back in. By 7:45, you have your breakfast. 8 o'clock is complaints and requests. It's when you can complain, whatever you have, any request, phone, whatever. Then your day goes by 11 o'clock. You can maybe, depends on the wardens, if you can have a exercise, like the 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you don't get to exercise, and then 12 o'clock, that's when your day ends. You get double locks at 3 o'clock. By 12 o'clock is your last outing out of the cell. Is to the dining hall, get your food, and then go back to your room, and that's the last time you go out until the next day. So that's it.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy because
The cell is sometimes from between 60 and 90 people in one cell. Between 60 and 90 people.
in one cell.
Different.
How do you guys sort of manage that environment?
That's the thing.
In there?
Sometimes there's a lot of. You need to have a monitor sometimes in the room that can, just a little to organize a cell, like, to be able to, if there's any problems or whatever.
Right.
When I was there for 3 years, I was a monitor there at the cell. It was quite cool. A lot of responsibility, though, a lot of pressure on you. But,
What type of pressure?
You fights.
Okay.
To make sure that you're not doing the wrong things. People thinking I'm sucking up to the wardens because of you were smoking, any illegal activity. Either I sorted out myself or I had to run to the wardens with it. Otherwise, I had to take responsibility for it.
As the monitor.
And if something goes wrong in the cell, like staying together as a family, but with a message we want to push across to the wardens, said we're a good cell, We're trying our best because there was always also competitions between the cells and whatever.
Okay. What in terms of which cell is sort of like the straight and narrow?
Yes.
Okay.
And who's doing more good and whatever, because there's always complaints, okay, this room is fighting all the time, whatever. So it goes to the head of the prison.
What would the fights be about?
Oh, but anything, smoking, anything. Okay. On prison, if you don't have smokes, girls, women's side, you can't take in cigarettes. So the girls have to take it up illegally.
Okay.
So they used to fight, and they don't have to smoke tea bags.
Smoke tea bags?
Instead of tobacco,
Right.
they smoke tea bags.
Okay.
They'll dry the tea bags out and smoke that. It's weird, it's hectic. Or breadcrumbs, it's hectic in prison.
Wow.
But just for the craving that they have.
And gangs?
No, there can't be any gangs by the woman.
Why is that?
Because a woman can't be a gangster. Can't. I don't know who came up with it, but a woman cannot be a gangster. There can be maybe groups, like little woman gangs, but no gangsters.
Okay.
There's no gangsters.
So even if you're on the outside, your boyfriend was one of the numbers gang, and you cannot.
If that is the case, you'll get a very big hiding, because that is what your boyfriend will be ordered to do, is keep you hiding. Because there's no woman that ever, inside or outside, can be a gangster.
Oh.
A woman cannot be a gangster. Only a man can be a gangster.
Wow. And when you say hiding, I mean, do you...
Yes, he needs to discipline you, in other words. Because even if the lady wants to talk like a man, like I listen to a lot of ladies, they want to talk like men in their language that they talk. You cannot. It's impossible. If the guys sit around and they listen to that, and you, say for instance, I'm the boyfriend, sitting in the crew by the numbers, I mean, you'll be ordered. His job is to discipline me. In other words, to give me hiding. Because who do I think I am? I'm not a man. It's a man's job. It's that day.
Right.
Women can't talk like that.
So is there a role for women in that environment?
Yes, to be a woman.
And that's it.
You can't. There's not much more you can do.
Why do girls, I mean, you hear, and again, I'm just, from what I read in newspapers, but girls get involved with gangsters. Why is that, if your role is just reduced to just being a woman?
Maybe they get a kick out of the things that the men do. I don't know, I don't know.
And you've been involved with gangsters?
I'm not a gangster. He's not just inside prison. There's not a specific gang that you belong to. It's only the 27, My ex-boyfriend and my boyfriend that I have.
Right.
Current boyfriend. Only 27 prison gangsters, no?
Right.
Outside gang.
Okay.
That's why they can't really get into trouble any specific outside. Because they're not, they don't belong to a gang.
Right.
Outside. It's
Right.
different to prison gangs.
Yeah. That from what I understand exactly is that the numbers gang is a gang inside prison and not outside. Outside you're supposed to live. But obviously now things have changed. People take this out and all that stuff. But okay. Now I've just always found it intriguing and interesting that young girls will be attracted to gangsters, you know, and that becomes your life. I guess also there's always money around, right? And where there's money, there's drugs and all that. And you were saying that your daughter now, she's in matric, is it? Or what grade is she in?
She's in matric.
And what does she have any plans for next year?
She wants to become a air hostess.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe she plays for Milano soccer as well.
Okay.
And she's a leader of a dance group at school. So she's got a lot of activity. Maybe she's just still trying to find herself before she goes for air hostess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She wants to first finish matric and then.
Right.
I don't know. She didn't get into so much detail yet.
Okay, and the soccer side?
I don't know. She plays soccer and stuff. She loves soccer, but yeah, she hasn't decided yet.
Okay. And you, what is I mean, like what's next for you? I mean, is it just living day by day?
Yeah, it's just living day by day. I don't have any plans. Yeah.
And ideally, what would you want in terms of?
I would like to get a proper place to stay and then get a nice job. Anything would do, you know, just to not to do nothing and to earn my own money. Yes. And just start living a normal life, you know, not depending on anybody, living under anybody else's roof, you know, getting told out of the blue to leave and whatever, just to...
Right.
Yeah.
And a place you can call home.
Yeah.
When's the last time you had that?
My daddy was alive. My mommy and my daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So...
the house in Constantia, I'm intrigued by that.
Mm.
Do you
big house.
Do you know exactly where it is?
Yes, it's close to the Pick and Pay there. In
Right, yeah.
But on the back side of it, close to the road where it takes you up to Hout Bay, there's a four-way stop opposite the church.
Yes.
So opposite that there was a house there.
So you grew up a soft life when you
well, just up to just until about 2-3 years old we lived there.
Right.
And then moved.
Then you moved. Do you know why you moved, or was that during the forced removal?
My daddy got a place of his own for his family. He didn't want to live with his in-laws all his life. So he was a very independent man. He bought a house for his family.
Right. And that side of the family, the in-law side of the family, you're not in contact with them,
No,
or your mother's side.
Still alive. My
It's
grandma's
okay.
still alive, but she's very old.
You're right.
And my mommy's sister. Yeah, but I don't see them.
Why?
Because they live in Portugal, so it's very far.
Okay. So you've always been around the southern suburbs
Yeah.
area, you know.